Hello and welcome to Drunk and Disorderly. I am your host, Dre. Aaron is on leave for the time being. I wanted to let you guys know we are still having our merch on our Redbubble, and we have guests for the next 2 weeks. Next week we'll have Caleb Salvatore, good friend of the show and sometimes host. And the week after, we will have Anthony Welty. Tonight, I would like to welcome Nebraska Libertarian Gubernatorial candidate Scott Zimmerman to the show, who is also a longtime friend and colleague.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Oh, it's good to be back. It's been a while since I've been on, so it's good to see you, Dre.
You as well, and luckily we get to see a lot of each other for the most part.
Yeah, now that you're on the team, so that's great. Yeah, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
We got some old friends tuning in, hopefully, and we'll be making some comments. You guys, I want to hear from you, right? That's
absolutely. If you have questions for Scott, please, we'll put them up, and hopefully he can not answer like a politician yet.
What a trap. You know, that's something that I struggle with, right? And I've struggled with this whole I don't want to come across as a politician. But automatically when I say I'm running for governor, people view me with those politician glasses, right? Those views. I was at a bar the other day, and I just happened to be asked to take a picture of the people at the table. And I took a picture of the people at the table, and the dude I was with yelling it out, "Hey, you just got your picture taken by the future governor." And they got excited, and we started talking about it. And so I handed out some swag, right, the postcards that I have. And I came to one guy, and he goes, "I don't trust politicians."
Cool, me neither.
That's exactly what I said. I said, me either. That's why I'm not a politician. I'm just some dude running for office. So he wasn't buying it. He wouldn't even touch it. It's like it had the virus on it or something. He wouldn't touch it.
Oh, wow.
So. That's all right. What's that?
You tried to what?
I tried to get him to take one, but he wouldn't. Everybody else did.
Yeah, that's probably the kind of guy you could like sit down and have a beer and maybe explain with if he gave you the opportunity, you know?
If.
Yep.
You know, unfortunately, a lot of people, and one of the things that I've really been frustrated with over the years is the apathy that we experience, the helplessness that a lot of people feel like, hey, my vote doesn't matter, my opinion doesn't matter, my voice doesn't matter. And that's hard. I mean, you get to a point where you just feel like it doesn't, like, what difference can I make? And then you see what happens, right? The whole system gets washed over. So,
right. Yeah, I that like actually like hurts my heart when people say that. I don't vote because my vote doesn't matter, and I'm like, yes, we all matter. You know what I mean? What if everybody thought that way?
Right. I mean, that's the reality of it, and that's what keeps me going every day, is knowing that you know, it does matter. Your voices do matter, and together, if we're loud enough, we can make a difference. So that's important. Yeah.
So I know a lot of people will ask, why is an everyday guy like you running for governor of Nebraska?
Oh gosh, that's me speaking out of turn in a meeting at one point in time, I think, and I just blurted it out. I'm running for governor. And I was really frustrated with the current administration. I've had my share of frustrations with the way things I feel like have been managed in our state. And I just got to a point where, you know, and unfortunately, you know, unfortunately, we really got to know our governor very well over the last year. He was on live every day, giving us state of the COVID addresses and all of those things. And we really got to see the lip service and the talking head syndrome that we get from him. I feel like a lot of people feel the same way I did. It was really disingenuous. It wasn't for the people, wasn't by the people. It was for him and for his agenda. And, you know, he made some good decisions. He made some not so good decisions. But to me, it was, regardless of what he was doing or what he was saying, it was how he was saying it to us. Like it was a lip service, not necessarily this is for you, the people, kind of thing. So I got really frustrated. My knee-jerk reaction was like, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to run for governor. Why can't I? Anybody can do it. You know what I mean? And it might as well be me. I mean, why not, right?
Yeah. I mean, can't do any worse. Just kidding.
I can't do any worse. Nebraska deserves better, is the tagline for the campaign. And again, if I start sounding too political, call me out on it for sure. But why me? Why am I running for governor? Because I feel like Nebraska deserves an opportunity to be have their voice heard. It's an opportunity for us, and I'm trying to meet people where they are. I don't want them to have to come to me. I don't want them to have to follow me. I want to come to them. So that's why I've been out on the road and meet with people as much as I can, and connecting with folks to find out what matters. And I really like that a lot. I really enjoy meeting people, and I feel like, as a leader, you have a responsibility to represent the people you serve.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
and
doing.
That's awesome. A lot of them forget that they're serving, that they're there to serve people that elected them.
Right.
Every person that went out and voted, they owe something to. They need to, listen to them and whatever. So about the mandates. So I didn't realize he was going live every day. I didn't listen to any of that. I think I saw one of them when he came out and said, we're not going to do a statewide. And I was like, cool, I'm done. I'm good. So, I mean, I know you and I feel pretty much the same way about every single last coronavirus policy, mandate, what have you. What do you think he did well? And what do you think he could have done better? Or how would you?
That's a tough call. And I can't say, all I can talk about is what he did and how he did it. And again, I wasn't paying that close of attention. I just know he was there every day, and I have to listen for 3 minutes and turn it off. But I think he ended the mandate as soon as he possibly could. Here in our state, I think he did a good job of that. He wanted to make sure. I think he's doing a good job now of taking a stance and saying, "Hey, look, we're not going to do that again. People don't want to do that," which hurts people like you and I, because it has become a political war, a back and forth. They're not really worried about our liberty. They're not really worried about our rights. They're not worried about what they're worried about is towing the political line, keeping the rift alive. To me, that's what they're concerned about, and that's what frustrates me about what's going on with the mandates. I think he missed an opportunity. I think there was some opportunities for him to make better decisions along the way. But I don't know, again, that I would have done any better. It's a tough situation. It's the first time I've ever experienced anything like this in my lifetime. And to be in those shoes where you're responsible for the entire state of Nebraska, and you've got powerful voices on both sides of you, with different sides of the argument. You've got the science, the medical, you've got the political, you've got all these voices coming at you. I can't imagine. I don't envy what he had to go through. I do know for me, as a libertarian candidate, I am somewhat committed to my party. I am a libertarian, but I'm not beholden to the Libertarian Party. One of the things that the Libertarian Party really values is individualism, and they want to support that. So I don't know how I would have managed the pandemic. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what they know. And by they, I mean the higher ups, the people behind the curtain. What do they really know? And to me, that would shape the decision-making process. We all know that the media directs a narrative. We all know the media sprinkles in what they want us to hear. And as a politician, as a leader that didn't really represent the people, I feel like Ricketts could have maybe been a little bit more transparent with us, and empowered us as Nebraskans to make better choices for ourselves, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. keep yourself healthy. Here's how you can do it. You probably should have been already doing these things to keep yourself healthy, but here's what we can do in this awful time of ours.
Sure.
None of that was being done by leaders who could have taken that opportunity to help folks in that way.
Right.
This last year and a half has been just ridiculous.
It's been hard.
Yeah.
It's been really hard. It's been frustrating. That's something I've been working on a post, and I got to be real mindful about what I post on the internet these days. Everyone's scrutinizing me. I'm under a microscope. And these are things like when I decided to run for governor, I wasn't quite expecting. I knew I'd maybe get a little bit of attention, but this has really kind of taken on a life of its own and really got me in the spotlight. And but I think I kind of got off on a tangent. I'm sorry. What was I talking about?
I'm just glad you're getting attention. Oh shit, I forgot.
You forgot too? That's cool. That's cool. Anyway, we were talking about mandates. We were talking about, oh, yes, we're writing this post about the mandates and basically leading it with, I can't wear the mask anymore. And I don't mean the literal mask. I mean this emotional mask that I have to carry and I have to wear every day out of fear of being judged, out of fear of being persecuted, as finger pointing. Words hurt. You know what I mean? And it's amazing to me how judgmental some people can be without first getting to know all the facts,
Right.
And I do my best to stay out of it. I try not to throw my opinion out there and stir the pot. I know there's a lot of people that really love the argument, the tug of war. I try to stay out of that because I don't think that solves anything. I don't think, us arguing about should we wear a mask, should we not wear a mask is that's a manufactured argument. That's an argument we should not be having. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. It's that simple. If I choose not to, then let me not to. It's really that simple. And again, if a business wants to enforce a mask policy, by all means, do that. That's your business.
Yep.
As governor, I also think if you're a bar and you want people to smoke in your bar, I'm okay with that. It's your bar. People can choose not to go there.
Yeah.
I read a statistic recently that only 19% of the population smokes still. So that's that's impressive number.
Right. I mean, that's the direction you want. We want a healthier society. I'm glad that there's less smoking, but if a proprietor wants to be able to have smokers, they should be allowed that right.
They should be allowed to. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I heard this was back when the mandate went through, the smoking ban a couple of years ago. Somebody said you could do if your establishment was considered a private club and you could charge whatever you wanted. You could charge a penny to become a member. They could then smoke inside. And I think that I actually went to the Shriners Club and smoked no, that was before. Sorry. But I want to say that they're somebody who does that, but I don't know.
Okay. Interesting.
But is that true about the private club?
I would have to look into that and see. To me, that makes sense. If you're a private club, that'd be like, can I smoke in my house? Right. The problem is so everything's tied to the government, right? And that's a challenge for these businesses. So if you want to have a private club and you want to provide alcohol, do you have to have a liquor license to do that? If you're a private club, if you're going to have a kegerator in your private club, do you have to have a liquor license if you serve X amount of people? I don't know what the regulations are, but I think that that makes sense from a proprietor perspective. Just turn it into a private club. I think that's what that worked for the strip club here in town, right?
Really?
Yeah, that's how they got away with doing full nudity here inside the city limits. Was he's just turned it into a private club. You got to be a member to go in. So
good for him, I guess.
He's a good businessman. This guy, and if he's out there, Club Omaha, if you're out there, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about your plans for growing in Nebraska. At one point in time, I read an article where he had plans to open up strip clubs along the entire I-80 corridor in Nebraska. That was a plan, and I don't know if that was a rumor, if that was a legitimate plan. But I was like, why the heck not, man? Create jobs, create opportunity. So maybe we
happy.
Right. So we need to talk to him. So that's funny.
Club Omaha. I don't even know where that is. So interesting. They're full nude, huh?
I think so. That's what I hear. So I've never actually been in, but I'm not a member. But I bet if I looked hard enough and fast enough, I could probably find somebody that is a member. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, yeah, I'm over the mandates, and I hear that they're about to come back, and that's just really
it's terrifying. Crazy. It's terrifying to me. And now it's like, okay, now they're blaming the unvaxxed, saying it's the unvaxxed fault.
Even though vaccinated can still spread it.
And catch it. And, it's like, you have to do what's right for you medically. You have to make the decision for you from a health perspective. Do you have to get a flu shot every year? You don't have to, but it makes sense. Do you want to get the COVID vaccine? You don't have to. But to some people, it makes sense. Let them have it. But don't mandate it. Don't force it on people.
Anybody to do it.
It's a terrifying thing to think about. History repeats itself. And at what point in time do we look at this vaccination marker that we have, that we carry, to prove that we've been vaccinated in order to go eat in a restaurant or go to a movie theater? At what point in time do we look at that and go, okay, well, how far removed is that from being marked as somebody that doesn't need to be part of society? And now all of a sudden we carry a brand and we end up in, you know what I mean? Like there's a slippery slope. It's a bad pattern to follow.
Absolutely. And it's doing nothing but causing division among the citizens of this country who were doing so great a couple years ago. So great. But then, division has to be riled up, and I feel like they're, it seems like a crazy thing to hang their hat on and try to divide us on, but that's where we are with the media, and I think that some of the powers that be in politics.
So they're like sharks with blood in the water. You know what I mean? Like they threw the blood in the water, and there was the rumbling about it, and they were like, yes, we're going to run with that. Let's throw that wedge in there.
Yeah, let's do a little more.
Yeah, because they want us divided. They don't want us working together. And I say they like I'm some kind of conspiracy theorist. And when I say they, I say the government. I mean, and I don't know who else to say. I'm not going to say the shadow government. That's just outlandish to consider. But the reality of the situation is we've got an elite class of individuals that are ruling over us, and the little guy doesn't stand a chance. I'm in a forum here on Facebook, which I really appreciate that they invited me. They reached out to me directly and invited me, and they called me on my bullshit. They called me out on it. They're like, hey, we invited Zimmerman for governor a long time ago, and he never responded. I was like, oh, wow, okay, thanks. Somebody was paying attention and cued me in on that. I just missed it. One of the things that I've seen on there is people talk about credible candidates.
Whatable?
Credible.
Okay.
Credible candidates.
What makes one? Yeah.
So that's my question for folks: is what is define credible? What does that mean to? And again, that's got to be different to everybody. Is a credible candidate somebody that truly represents me as an individual? Is a credible candidate the candidate that raised the most money? Is a credible candidate somebody that's honest and trustworthy that I can get behind? Is credible? He's got a TV commercial. What is credible? How do you get credible? I know we've got lists. I know we got lists from the Omaha World Herald and from NTV. not MTV, NTV, Nebraska TV, kind of itemizing what they look for after years and years and years of fighting them to get into the debates and to get equal media coverage. They finally said, hey, these are the things we consider. So this campaign, what we're doing is we're doing a really good job of crossing off all those, checking those boxes. We're doing that.
What are
we're doing have a team in place, have a staff, register with the state, which we're doing. We're in the process of doing that. I'm on Wikipedia, so that I'm Wikipedia official, which is cool, right?
That's
which is cool.
Cool.
But some of the other things was advertising, fundraising, and the dollar figure they threw out there was outlandish. It was just, I mean, and so to me, it's outlandish. Okay. To me, to say you need $100,000 to be considered to be in these debates. If you show us you've raised $100,000 over the course of your campaign, we will consider you viable. So, but that doesn't mean I have to have $100,000 in the bank and write them a check for $100,000. What they need to see is a campaign that's active. So that's the dollar figure they've put on what a campaign should look like. Okay, with the advertisements and people involved and a paid staff and all those things, an office, a headquarters that people can go to. That's all where that money would go to, and then they need to see that stuff in action. But you know what? Libertarians are very resourceful, and we can do a lot with a very little. So, we are targeting 100,000 for this campaign. That's what we want to raise, and we need your help. VoteZimmerman.com.
Back the beard.
Back the beard. Go visit the website. Let's get the website up. There it is, VoteZimmerman.com. Check it out. I cover a lot of issues. I hate asking for the support, folks, but I need the support. I can't do it alone. I just can't. I want to do this. I want to represent people. I want to continue to spread the message of liberty. I want to continue to be a steward for us as individuals, but I can't do it by myself. I really can't. We've been really lucky. We've had some generous donors coming through, which has kept this campaign afloat and afforded me the opportunity to travel as much as I have. But again, everything we get goes right back into the campaign. So we're looking for, everyone wants t-shirts and buttons. T-shirts here. We've got the t-shirt. I should put the t-shirt link up. I'll try and find that real quick and put that up. But it's neat. The store is open until the 29th. You can find it on my Facebook page. I post it every day. But you can order a t-shirt, a Back the Beard t-shirt, so show your support that way. A portion of your sale goes back directly into the campaign. Again, you guys, I really appreciate the support. I can't do it by myself, and I'm going to keep doing it. I'm not going anywhere, so you should probably back the beard. That's what I'm thinking. So
absolutely buy one of these amazing t-shirts. I would be wearing one. I have purchased it. I'm anxiously awaiting its arrival. So as soon as it gets here, I'm going to be sporting that thing all over. So Scott, you said you've been out and about, going to events, meeting the people where they are. Where have you gone so far, and where are we going to be next?
Oh my gosh, you're gonna ask me to pull up my calendar. So I've been here in Omaha. I did my campaign event kickoff here, April 20th. Here in Omaha, a little nod there, I've been hitting all the smaller communities. I've been to McCook, I've been to North Platte, I've been to Gering. My first out west event was in Gering, Nebraska. I've been in North Platte. I've been to McCook and Milford. I've been to Seward. I'm getting out there. I've been to Fremont. So we're having a good time. Coming up next, this appearance here is, I got my schedule right here. What do you know? Yay! August 6th, Friday. This Friday, I'll be in Ogallala, Nebraska. I'm looking forward to meeting those folks and talking to them. And then driving back on Sunday, I'll be in North Platte again by popular demand.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then I'm back home, kind of going to focus on, I got some stand-up comedy stuff going on, some commitments that I have in place that I got to take care of. which will prevent me from traveling. But I'm still going to stay local. I'll be in Lincoln at some point in time. You can find all this stuff on my Facebook page at Zimmerman #4 Gov GOV on my Facebook page. You can check those things out. So I try and keep people posted on my events and what's going on. You can also follow most of these events on the Libertarian Party of Nebraska Facebook page as well. Well, shout out to those folks too. They don't have to be as supportive as they have been. They've been very supportive, which is tremendous. I really appreciate that. I look forward to representing this party with respect and integrity and professionalism. I think that that's important for us to be able to continue to, again, not judge people, not argue with people, but let's talk to people. Let's have a conversation. And maybe we disagree on this and that and this and that. But man, I bet we can find something if we talk long enough about something we agree on.
And that's what it is about our party. We can find common ground with anybody. And I think that that is amazing. And that's what I think will connect you to voters where the other two can't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially
when you're out there with the people, talking to them, talking to possible voters. And I don't know, you seem to excel in there. You know what I mean? You're a people person. You can talk to anybody about anything. And you do have the professionalism,
Mostly. I get some stuff about the beard. People are like, oh, you're wearing a beard. You got to shave your face. The political, if you're going to be a politician, you got to be the clean shaven and the suit and all that stuff. And again, I'm just going to remind people I'm by no means a politician. I'm just a middle-class guy. I got a full-time day job. You know what I mean? Who just wants to do better for us and represent the people of Nebraska on a different level than what I do now, which is not at all. I mean, I represent some people. You know what I mean? I've been with the Libertarian Party in Nebraska for 10 years. I was a district coordinator. I was chairman 2.5 terms altogether. I did not seek re-election. I probably could have sought re-election again. But it was time for somebody else to take over. I became executive director of the Libertarian Party. I've enjoyed that experience. I've enjoyed being a spokesman for the Libertarians because I truly believe in what we stand for. And running for governor is just the next logical step for me because it's a platform that we can continue to represent people and show people that we are truly in it for them. We want what's right for them. And the best people to decide what's right for them is themselves. They don't need the government to tell them what to do. So, I don't know. I say so and a lot, I've noticed. But that's okay. I rant a little bit. Pardon me, you guys. I'm just drunk and disorderly. What I love about this podcast and being on here is the kind of the rough, just to go with it. Just have a conversation and hang out and talk. To me, that's important. I think it's a good platform for us. It's not scripted. Just so you know, I don't have scripted answers. The only thing I had scripted in front of me was my dates that I'm traveling up, and I only had those because I was updating. I was doing a Facebook Live. I was attempting to do a Facebook Live, which I'm not very good at those things. But no, Absence of Malice is a movie. Is that a movie?
I don't know. That's not the comment I was talking about.
No, from 1981.
Abe Lincoln had an epic beard. That could be your comeback for that one.
Yeah, I could. I also talk about Abe Lincoln being a third-party candidate. The Republicans were a third party at that point in time. So maybe there's some history there.
And guys, Scott can put on a suit and look great. He does often when he has speaking events, So. Sure.
And I'm going to tell you, I only have the beard because of the pandemic. Like the pandemic came, I was working from home. I went to go trim my beard. My beard trimmer didn't work. It was broken. I went to go order another one, and everyone was doing haircuts at home because they can't go to the haircut place anymore. So everyone was doing haircuts at home, and they sold out of trimmers everywhere. Head trimmers, beard trimmers, bald trimmers. They sold out of all of them. Couldn't get a trimmer anywhere. Even dog trimmers. Sold out everything. Like I looked at all my options, and finally I got to a point where I was frustrated. I went to my wife, And I was like, I'm just going to grow this beard because I can't find a trimmer anywhere. And she's like, that's okay. You don't have anywhere to be. You know, at the time we were on lockdown, we were teaching school remote. I wasn't going anywhere. I didn't have to look a certain way. And then it started growing in. About a month later, she was like, you should probably let that grow. And then she's just been super supportive the whole way through. And a couple months ago, she was like, before this happened, I didn't realize I had a type. So now I have to keep the beard.
Well, she's like, I love the beard so much. I'm a beard lady.
Yeah.
I like dudes with beards. So you're stuck. Yeah. So, I can scarcely remember. What did you just have it shorter? Because you've always had a beard, right?
I've always had a beard. Okay. It was just clean, closer cropped.
Okay.
Closer cropped. Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't.
And that carries over from my sales days when I was doing sales. You have to look a certain way when you walk into people's homes if you're expecting to ask them to make an investment in expensive products, So, yeah.
So, I'm talking about personal, everything and giving the people of Nebraska a voice. We tried that. Remember, was it last year or the year before, we were collecting signatures to get medical marijuana on the ballot. Yeah. We got enough signatures and It was struck down. They decided that it's not good for you. It felt like a little kid getting patted on the head. Oh, no. I know that all you and your little friends got together and decided that you wanted cookies, but cookies aren't good for you, and we're not going to let you have them.
Yeah. Again, that was... I don't know. I mean, I know that the court came back and said, no, it's a multiple issue ballot initiative. You can't have multiple issues in one ballot initiative. I know that there was legal loopholes in there. But I guarantee you it costs a lot of money to find those legal loopholes. And somebody somewhere decided that wasn't a good idea. It might be the same guy that said that marijuana will kill your children. It might be that same guy.
I think I know who you're talking about.
It could be that same guy.
He's going away, guy.
Right, and he is going away, which is wonderful. For now, I predict we will see him pop up again in the future and wanting to represent Nebraska on some other front. He's got a taste of that politic money, so the rich get richer, and the rest of us just suffer. Really, is what it comes down to, right? So. Yeah. But we'll change that. When I'm governor, I'm really focused on doing what's right for the people of Nebraska. I want to bring opportunities here. I want to bring jobs to Nebraska. I want to increase visibility nationwide. I think we have an opportunity to be a leader in our country in a lot of things. Agriculture, of course, being we're going to do that thing. And that includes allowing farmers to use their property and grow cash crops. Let them grow what they want to grow. Right now, we've got hemp growing in our state. We'll see over time how much revenue that allows us. But there's so much regulation associated with that process that we could really peel back the supervision of the government on a lot of these products. And the way, and more importantly, pull back the regulations on the way these farmers conduct their business and who they conduct business with. That should be their business, not the government's business. And hemp's a great first step. Medical marijuana is a great first step. I am personally pro full legalization of cannabis. That's something that I would absolutely, in a heartbeat, sign a bill that came across my desk that made that happen. I wouldn't hesitate. I wouldn't drag it out. I have done my due diligence, and I think I've got an educated perspective on cannabis, both the benefits in the medical world and the benefits in the recreational side. There's a lot of opportunity there for Nebraska to become a leader and really maybe revive some of those smaller family farms again. Give them a cheaper product that they can produce, because right now the small corn farmer and the small soybean farmer isn't competing with the corporate farms. They just can't. Yeah. So give them a cash crop that they can grow at a reasonable cost with relatively low maintenance, and they can generate 4 crops a year. instead of just the one. There's a lot of opportunity there for us in Nebraska. I know a lot of people hear the words marijuana, and they get freaked out about it. And I'm sorry you guys got so much propaganda, shoved down your throat, so much propaganda thrown down your throat on all that. And now that we've seen what it can do, it's a no-brainer that we put it in the hand of the medical professionals in our state and let them conduct true research on this. You read all these articles that cannabis might slow the growth of cancerous tumors, but we can't study it to find it out because it's illegal. Well, why not put it in the hands of the medical professionals and let them run with that? Why not figure out what it is about the plant that helps people that are suffering from seizures? What is it about that? Give it to those folks and let them do it. In the states that they've legalized it medicinally, patients have seen tremendously improved quality of life. Medical professionals deserve the right to have access to every possible medical solution for their patients. And antiquated laws and political agendas have no place in determining what my doctor and I just determine a reasonable solution for my situation. So,
right.
Well, I just got on a soapbox. I'm sorry.
I like that one. No, the whole thing with the vaccination is people fail to consider that maybe you've talked to your doctor about it and it's not right for you to get this damn jab. But sure. Screw you, and how dare you have body autonomy and be an individual? Sure. That's what I'm getting slapped in the face with on social media on a daily basis.
It's terrible.
And it's ridiculous. Last year, they were telling us to be kind and to be considerate and to consider others. And now we can't even be considered. Like, I feel like it's a whole other thing. It's like, it's another divisive tool, I believe.
Sure. Yeah, the vaccines, they're available, folks. And if you've done your research and you've talked to your doctor and you feel like that's the best option for you, go get a vaccine. Get that. Go do that thing. If that, I did. I'll proudly admit it. I got vaccinated. Mine was not because I wanted to be vaccinated, but because I was forecasting this future that we live in, where they're going to mandate it and make us do the vaccine passports and prove that we're vaccinated, or else it gets the muzzle again. And that's what they're saying. Get the shot or wear the mask again. Think about it, folks. That's what they're telling us.
And now it's both. Indoors.
Both.
I won't do it.
And now I'll social distance. I'll stay out of businesses that don't want me in there without a mask on. I will do all of those things for people. But what I won't do is I refuse to be silenced anymore. And I think it's important. Again, people out there are going to rake me over the coals. You hate people. You want to kill your grandma, whatever. I'm not that guy. I'm a very compassionate individual. I got the vaccine. It's what you told me to do. I did what you told me to do. Now what? Now you're raising the bar again? You want to give me a booster shot? You want to give me a third vaccine? Sure. Why not? I'm 47 years old. I've had a good life. Do you know what I mean? Like, if that's what it takes for me not to wear a mask, then I will do those things. But don't mandate. Don't tell me that I have to suffer through my PTSD every day because of some arbitrary law or mandate.
For something that doesn't work anyway.
We forget about the emotional side of these things, folks. And I don't want to get too much into my personal business, but I have memories that I didn't know I had that came out because of these masks. It's called a repressed memory. And when those memories flash back, it flashed back 40 years later, and it's full of all that anxiety that I should have been dealing with and fighting over the past 40 years. I didn't even know I had until I was wearing a mask. So it's 40 years worth of anxiety that all of a sudden washed over me like a bucket of water. And I did my best. I did my best to play the game, to stay conscientious of people, to be compassionate and respectful. But I got to my breaking point. I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't. And now it's looking like we're going to have to do it again. And it's causing me undue anxiety. It's hurting my feelings. I know a lot of people can maybe relate to that. It's hurting my feelings.
Consider others at the cost of yourself, Scott. Thank you, Rachel. That is perfectly succinct.
It is.
Of what they are saying and demanding of us today.
Sure.
So, yeah, I won't comply. And you know what? That's fine. I won't go to your business. I won't give you my money. That's fine. I will go to places that will welcome me with open arms, who did the last year and a half. Yeah. And that's fine.
Yeah.
So let's get back to your campaign, because I know.
All right, that was a total downer. I just totally had an emotional breakdown on your podcast, Dre, and I'm sorry. So that's a side of me. That's a side of me not a lot of people have seen. Again, when I talk about wearing that proverbial mask, I'm tired of wearing the mask. I'm tired of hiding it. I'm tired of being that guy. Like I'm not anti-mask. I'm not. Wear it. Enjoy it. Please. In fact, I'm probably better off if you wear it. You don't have Tic Tacs in your pocket anyway, so you know what I mean? Like that's the comedian in me. So every once in a while it reverts back to the comedy. It's just a weird situation. It's such a weird time we're living right now. And we talk about the division, the divisive nature of what we're going on. I'm not a conspiracy. Okay, I'm kind of a conspiracy theorist, somewhat. But I think I'm pretty realistic and reasonable.
If they would stop coming true,
sure,
that'd be great.
Man, I was way into this whole Area 51 thing. There's conspiracy, and there it is. It's just a thing. UFOs. I've been talking about UFOs for a long time. And now all of a sudden there's a process for identifying or cataloging UFOs. I'm not saying aliens have come to Earth. I'm just saying we have UFOs, and we should probably look at that. And you're a conspiracy nut. Well, look at us now, right? All conspiracies. Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. But you think about, like, what are they? I wonder what we're being distracted from. And some of it is this unification of the two parties. And again, we talk about the old party system, and I know a lot of people feel like those old big parties don't truly represent them. So there's a home. There are other options for them. Because you have to know that money corrupts and has turned these people into greedy, power-driven folks. There's people that have been in the Senate my entire life. My entire life. Do you really feel like they're representing the people?
No.
No.
All you have to do is follow the money. Look at their bank accounts.
Follow the money.
They do not make that much money from the government. Where do you think this money comes from?
Sure. And we don't. What are we being distracted from? Are we being distracted from the sex trafficking? They don't want us to know about that. What are we being distracted from? Are they worried the fact that we're starting to figure this out? That there is a problem? That they don't really represent us anymore? Are they worried that that's happening, so they got to keep us divided, so we just keep fighting amongst ourselves instead of fighting them? Probably.
The government and the media together are very good at look at what's going on over here and completely ignore the bullshit that we're trying to keep your eyes from over here.
Sure. The journalism that I grew up with is dead. That journalism doesn't exist any longer. Long dead, right? And I can't even blame the internet. I think that it started to die earlier than that. It became about sales and profits. And how many newspapers can I sell? How many headlines can I post, to catch? And the media drives the narrative.
Absolutely. I remember I used to work in a network control center, and we used to have CNN on. And so I started working there in 2004. I don't remember when, but shortly thereafter, we had to switch news channels because CNN deemed themselves an entertainment network. And I don't know when they decided that they could revert back, but it's still entertaining to me what they're describing as news.
Sure.
They can take their biased opinions and shove them.
Sure. Absolutely. Well, that 24-hour news cycle made it really difficult for us to filter through the noise, and it makes it hard for people to pay attention to the headlines that truly they should be paying attention to. Makes it hard because there's so much news that they're throwing at us, and then they hyper focus on things that aren't really relevant,
that aren't really important either.
Sure. So there's a lot going on, folks. If you're tuning in, you're watching this. If you're paying attention in the future, just remember we were here and we talked about it. There's a lot going on in America right now that could lead to an unrest if they push hard enough, which is just scary to think about. But it's happened in so many other countries. You've watched it happen in a lot of different countries, and I think that Americans are reasonable people. I think that people can be reasoned with if they choose to be reasoned with. Unfortunately, what I'm seeing right now, there's a lot of unreasonable people on both sides of the divided line right now. And again, I hate to circle back to this COVID crisis, the pandemic, but it really has split our nation in half for the most part. And it sucks.
It does suck.
It sucks. We should be focusing on working together to work, to contribute to our society in a positive manner, to bring jobs to our communities, to take care of our children and our elderly. We should be focusing on those things instead of focusing on what's happening in the government. I don't know. They play on fear too. Yeah.
We do.
Fear is a powerful emotion, Rachel. It's powerful. They do. God, we're getting deep on this podcast, Trey. I love it.
Sometimes.
One of the things that I set out on this podcast is I really did want to take the mask off. I really wanted people to see the real me and who I am, and take it or leave it at this point. I am who I am, and I'm doing this for you. I've got no ulterior motive. I'm not looking to make a career out of politics. But I would move to Lincoln. I'd go be a governor for 4 years. I would go do that for you. I would do that, and I'd probably do a really good job of it, folks. That's every job I've ever had. I've risen to a position of leadership, and not by my pursuing that, but because people wanted me to be in those roles.
Have witnessed this personally.
It happens, and and I'm not saying these things to be egotistical or narcissistic about myself. I'm humble in those. I think a lot of the reason why people chose me to be in those roles is because of my servant attitude. I want to serve you as your leader. I'm not here to boss you. I'm not here to demand from you. I'm here to consult with you. We work together. We're on the same team. And one of the things that I truly excel at is building teams. So I may not have all the right answers. I may not know the right answer to the questions you're asking me. I may not know exactly which policy you're talking about. I may not know which department you're talking about. But I'll tell you what, right now, I will find the right person to sit in those roles that will represent the people of Nebraska's, not some political agenda. We have a tremendous opportunity here in Nebraska with a nonpartisan legislature. We have a tremendous opportunity to get a lot of things done if we just get the political rift out of the way. The R versus the D, fighting over issues. If we just got and decided to work together for Nebraska, we have a tremendous opportunity to do that. And one of my visions as governor is to be able to bring the UNICAM together and encourage them to work together and forget the divide, forget the politics,
Reach
and
across
focus
the
on
aisle.
focus on what's right for Nebraska, not what's right for your political party, and not what's right for your personal pocketbooks. And that's the frustrating thing. So
Yeah. So I got to sit in on the day before the governor, or the mayor gave her state of the city address, and she was saying how we had uh, we were in the black. We had a lot of extra money this year, so they hired a bunch of extra police and bought a bunch of equipment or possible, military cast off stuff. Please tell the folks how you feel about military, or not military, first responders and police force
Sure.
in the local area.
Sure. To me, first responders and police force are not an interchangeable conversation.
Okay.
I consider first responders the fire department, the ambulances, the paramedics. To me, that's a first responder. And the police should be part of that. They should be considered first responders. The problem is, do we really want them to be the first responders? They've proven time and time again that they are out there to do one thing, and that's to bust criminals. They always look for a criminal in one way, shape, or form. I'm not saying all cops. There's some great cops out there. I have some friends that are really good at what they do, but I understand it. It's a job, and you have certain metrics that you're being evaluated on or judged on based on your performance, and that performance is only identifiable by how many tickets you write or how many infractions you discover. So I hesitate to include the law enforcement. They should be the first responders, and in a perfect world, they would be first responders. They are there to protect us and take care of us. But there's a reason why when you call the fire department, the cops don't get dispatched. You know what I mean? There's a reason why the cops don't show up. So my perspective is, and I've just really started to dive into the state budget and try and get my head wrapped around these dollar figures that are going here and there and those kind of things. But ultimately, what I see for Nebraska is kind of an overhaul, and it's a long game. It's a free up resources so that we can move those resources to other things, if that makes sense to you. So what I would do is I would look at any funds that are being diverted to cities like Omaha and Lincoln to go into the pools for these, for lack of a better term, city-operated police forces. The Omaha Police Force, the Lincoln Police Force, major metropolises that are, and take those funds and divert them to the county sheriffs, and allow the county sheriffs to be more in control of what law enforcement should look like in their counties. The sheriff's an elected official. He's accountable to the people he represents. And I feel like that a sheriff should represent his people and protect his people. I think we've seen some of that here in Omaha, where Douglas County Sheriff has taken over pretty much everything west of 680. You pretty much see them more than OPD. I think that's how it should be. I don't think the police force has any business being provided with military weaponry. They don't need that. That's what the sheriff's department maybe should do. I don't know. I don't have the answer. If you ask me, maybe the state patrol, maybe. If anybody's going to have that kind of power in the state, it should be maybe. I don't know, though. Ultimately, I want to restore the purpose of those agencies, and that is to serve and protect the people of Nebraska. So if we remove victimless crime laws per se, we get rid of those, then these people don't have to conduct so many traffic stops. They don't have to worry about busting people for an eighth of marijuana. Those kind of things. They don't have to divert those resources to that kind of stuff. So what we can do is we can divert those resources to give back to the community and provide things like education on firearm safety. Put the state patrol in charge of that. Open up a franchise in all the major communities so that state patrol, now you can go and you can learn about gun safety. You can go and learn how to arm yourself and protect yourself. Divert those resources, turn them into more an educational source than an enforcement source. Again, the logistics behind my vision are maybe a little skewed. Maybe it's not possible, but there's a lot of interactions with the police that don't have to occur. If they clock you going 70 miles an hour and at 60 miles an hour, they can take a picture of your license plate and they can mail you a ticket. They don't need to pull you over.
Right.
If you have a broken taillight, they can take a picture of it. They've got dash cams. They've got the technology to do that. They can pull them behind you just like they do now. They
And
take a picture.
imagine how much time that would save if they just took
Time
a
and
picture,
money.
wrote a ticket, and emailed it off or whatever.
You know,
They'd be
now
done in 30 seconds.
some people will say that takes away the ability to get out of the ticket, or so to speak. But that's what the court system's for. You know what I mean? Get the ticket in the mail. If you want to fight it in court, go fight it in court. That's what it's for.
Do you think the cops show up for every ticket they write? No, go to court. You'll get it dismissed because they won't show up.
Yeah. And if they do, plead your case. You'd be surprised how reasonable some judges can be. You'd be surprised. But my plan as governor would be to really evaluate the role and responsibility of law enforcement in our state and where that distribution of power lies. I think that there should be a second academy. I think there should be out west right now. They have to come here to become part of the. So let's divide it up, and maybe a second academy, maybe a third academy, maybe instead of a prison, instead of building a new prison, because under a proper Nebraska, in my perspective, we're able to reduce prison population. Prison population is 151%. 151% as of 2020. I don't know what it's in 2021. I don't know how many people they arrested not wearing a mask. But
after they let people out for COVID.
Right. But we're allowed legally to be at 140%, which is ridiculous. And they're talking about opening a third prison.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a legality there. Like, you can totally be 140% over.
140%, cool. No big deal. So why not divert some of those resources, right? Let's eliminate some of those violent. Let's reserve prison for violent offenders, people that are threats to our society and our communities. Let's reserve those and our victimless crime. I'm sorry, the state can't be a victim, in my opinion. So if you broke a law, you broke a law, but you shouldn't be sitting in prison because of it. If you didn't hurt anybody, you're not a threat to society. Let's reserve our prison system and make it super secure for the rapists and the child molesters and the murderers, you know,
absolutely need
the assaulters and the violent criminals. Let's make it super secure for those folks. Let's get everybody out and get them back into society and get them contributing back to our economy. You know, let's help them get back into their communities. And I think diverting the resources of law enforcement gives us an opportunity to educate the community and truly serve the community the way that they should be serving the community, instead of fighting this endless drug war and feeling the pressure to write how many speeding tickets they need and those kind of things. Like, think about how many. I looked it up at one point in time, how much money they spend on enforcement just in western Nebraska, just to pull people over coming from Colorado. You know, and it's like, I don't know what that's like, but it's got to be ridiculous. You know, they're basically like just waiting to catch you in a trap, right? They're trying to they're trying to entrap you.
Because Colorado is a legal state and we are not. Right. Lots of folks head over to Colorado and think that they can bring back some goodies, and they have traps set up for them right after they cross the border into Nebraska, because the Colorado kids have toys that we aren't allowed to play with.
Sure. Think about how many tourist dollars we lose from Nebraska, not only on the recreational marijuana side of things, but on the gambling side of things.
I was just going to say, yes, let's talk about gambling, because our other neighbor, Iowa, is totally fine with it. And they bring in, I don't know how many millions of dollars every year into their state through gambling.
Sure. Yeah, you know, and one of the smart moves we passed, a ballot initiative passed. I believe it was ballot initiative, if I remember correctly. Was the gambling here. The Warhorse Casino was going to become a thing. One here in Omaha and one in Lincoln, two big casino facilities. So we have effectively legalized gambling in our state. I know there's some restrictions, and I haven't looked at those laws. But I would think that we would want to keep that revenue in our state. I know people talk about what it does to our society and our communities, and people are going to spend that money anyway. They're going to gamble, and people are going to play poker. And in fact, I got news for you, folks. People play poker all the time for money. For
Like in their
money.
houses?
Like in wherever.
Yeah.
Kind of like, yeah. I won't tell you specific addresses or names or anything.
No, but yeah. These games are going on all the time in the legal state.
It's happening. People are calling in books to Vegas. People are calling in, you know what I mean? It's happening in our state. Why not, again, instead of enforcing these arbitrary laws that prevent these things from happening, let's peel those laws back and spend the money that we would have spent on enforcing those laws on maybe rehab programs. If you've got a problem with gambling addiction, come and see us. We'll take care of you. We'll help you get clean. You know, maybe it's not very libertarian of me to think like that, but again, it's a start. It's a step in the right direction for us. Long term, that leads to getting the government out of it completely. A libertarian governor isn't going to turn your world upside down overnight. That's just not going to happen. There's only so much power in that office. And I know it's surprising to a lot of you, as much as they wield that power in those offices. But you have a responsibility in that leadership not to abuse your power and to respect and represent the people of Nebraska. So again, it comes down to passing bills. If your legislature, if you want something done in your community, communicate with your senator. Get your senator to draft a bill and bring me a bill that makes sense, and I will sign it and I'll push it through. To me, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think that we can take it a step further here in Nebraska. I think that we have an opportunity here that we could maybe bring some pro sports teams to our state. I think we're ripe for that now. I think we're missing an opportunity there, and I don't know why they're not here. I don't know why. But guess what? As governor, guess what I would do? I pick up the phone. I call somebody and be like, hey, why aren't you in Nebraska, and how can we get you here? And maybe that would bring new opportunities to our communities, new growth to our communities, new jobs.
Huge economy growth all around.
I mean, as long as we're betting on them, right?
Constantine is a new to me-ish Douglas County Libertarian who I've had the pleasure to meet once in person, and he's always commenting.
He's a donor supporting the campaign.
Awesome. Thank you, Constantine. Your contribution is very much appreciated.
I bumped my camera. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, sorry about that. It happened when I set my empty beer bottle down here. Let me put it in the trash. Instead of over there. My webcam is super sensitive. So, again, Constantine, thank you for that. I don't know that I have all the right ideas. I have a lot of ideas, though. You know, but I'm not going to be the boss of everybody. It's not my job to make those decisions for people. My job is to listen to people in Nebraska and do what they want me to do. That would be my job as governor, and that would be my plan, is to really get out and meet people and have that open line of communication and want to know what people want here in our state so that they can work towards having those things. I'm not going to do a vote for Pedro thing and tell you all your wildest dreams will come true. Vote for me and all your wildest dreams will come true. I'm not going to say that thing, although that's a good clip for later. We can just throw that out there. But what I will say is that I will do my best to represent you guys where you are, not where I need you to be or want you to be.
Yep. Yes, Constantine. That's the thing about libertarians. Like, for anybody who's not part of the Libertarian Party and not following the Libertarian movement, you know, our biggest thing is we believe free adults are the best people to make a decision for their lives. And I think that Scott or anybody in a position of power of any sort would legislate that way, right?
And that's what it comes down to. You know, there's that old meme out there that's like, libertarians diligently plotting to take over the world so we can leave you alone.
Right.
I mean, and there's some truth to that. I mean, we're not plotting to take over the world, but we want to freer America. We want to restore some of our civil liberties and our economic freedoms and our social freedoms. I think those are important. I don't think that we need to have that government intrusion in every aspect of our lives. We don't need that. And I feel like we're at a time where a lot of people are starting to feel the same way, where they're kind of tired of it. I don't know. I can't say that I would restore it back to 1776 or 1786 even. I wouldn't be able to, you know what I mean? I can't say I'm going to restore that. And we're 250 years removed from that time frame, folks. But as a teacher, every year I teach about the revolution. Every year I teach about it. And, man, they had some really good ideas. Those founding fathers, they had some good concepts. Yeah, they had some bad ideas too. You know, they had some bad perspectives. We talk about, you know, making poor decisions.
Sure. But the good
it's a product of this.
Is...
But what they intended for us as a nation was a nation free from a tyrannical government. A government that ignores its people and just abuses its power. And I'm not saying we have a tyrannical government yet, but do you truly feel represented by the people that you've elected to office? Do you truly feel like they are representing your best interest? And if that answer is no, then maybe you need to consider the way you vote. Maybe consider the way that you look at what a credible candidate looks like or a viable candidate looks like. Maybe it's not the standard politician with the suit and the tie and the lip service. Maybe it's some dude with a beard. Maybe. VoteZimmerman.com. Go donate. You know that. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Actually, I did mean to do that, folks. I can't do it alone. I really can't. And those of you that have contributed to the campaign, man, I super appreciate you. You've kept the campaign alive. You've made it possible for me to continue to travel, get buttons and shirts and those kind of things. You've made it possible for me to do those things, and I super appreciate it. But we need more support. We need more help. I have events coming up. If there's an event in your area that you feel like I should come to, please reach out to the campaign. VoteZimmerman.com. Message me there. It comes directly to me. I don't have anybody filtering those messages or auto-botting, responding to those. That's me. That comes right to my email. And I may not respond within 5 minutes, but, man, I'll get around to it. Reach out to me. Let me know where you want me to be. Ask me the questions that you want to know answers to. I'm happy to make time for you.
Yep. You know, and that is a great, you know, campaign, not slogan, but, you know, regular guy willing to talk to you where you are. Just be open and honest and talk to each and every individual. I don't think a lot of big candidates do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that is a good thing that that sets you apart.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm not a career politician. I'm not out politicking all day every day.
No, Scott is a family man. He has raised a daughter. He's raising 2 smaller children. He's a family guy. You know, he's got a regular day job. He's out there busting his ass, doing what he's got to do every day.
Yeah. Speaking of day jobs, my day job is getting ready to start back up again here in the fall. I mean, I'm excited. I look forward to it, man. I miss the kiddos every year. I'm super excited to get back in there and change lives, you know, because that's what I do every day. I really feel like that. I have an opportunity to connect with people that need someone like me in their lives. They need somebody that cares about them, that's going to take time to teach them things. I think that's important. But that also means my time is going to become very valuable to me. I'm still going to make time and travel as much as I can, but it's going to be restricted. You know, I'm not going to say I'm going to be able to make it to every community this year. But one of the things that's great is that I don't necessarily have to get launched in the trenches of this primary cycle. We might have a Libertarian candidate pop up that wants to run against me, and that's fine. That's fine. We'll primary, and that's what you want to do. We can do those things. But I just know I'm going to do my best to make sure I go all the way through till November of 2022. I want to be on the ballot in November of 2022. To Republicans and Democrats out there that are looking at me as a candidate, as a possible, because you're not happy with your lineup, you know, just know I'm not going to be on your primary ballot. You're not going to see me with an R next to my name. You're not going to see me with a D next to my name. I'm a Libertarian. And if I make it through the primary, if I'm lucky enough that the people here in Nebraska vote for me in the primary and decide that they want me to be their gubernatorial candidate, Then I will be on the ballot in November, and I will be your third option, maybe a fourth option. Depends on, I know the Legal Marijuana Now party has ballot access in our state. They were able to get enough signatures to get a ballot access, so congratulations to them. But I will be on the ballot, and you'll have three choices. So when people ask me, can you win? And the answer is yes. You just have to vote for me. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I can't compete with the millions of dollars that are coming into the Republican and the Democrat Party. I need to rely on people making the right choice at the ballots, though. So,
absolutely. So please donate where you can. Scott, tell them where they can see you in the next couple of weeks, and then we can.
Sure. VoteZimmerman.com and my Facebook page at Zimmerman #4 Gov G-O-V on my Facebook page. You can check that out. I'll be in Ogallala, Nebraska on Friday this week. We're doing a meet and greet happy hour there on Friday night. And then on Sunday, I'm doing the Keith County, Lincoln County Libertarian Party relaunch party. They basically have opened up a new party out there, a new affiliate, we'll call it. It's just super exciting. Great folks. I really had an opportunity to meet with those guys. Super awesome. They're doing great things. Just good-hearted people that want to do better for their communities. That's really who they are, and I feel like I've connected very well with them. So, and then you can catch me on some comedy shows coming up. But other than that, I'm not going to plug my comedian stuff because, if you want to see that, you can go to Mr. Z Comedy and check out the comedy stuff. That's where you'll find all that information. And what else? Where else am I going to be? I don't have any media stuff coming up that I know of. This was something I was super looking forward to. Harvest of Harmony Parade, October 2nd. I need volunteers. I need people to come out to the parade. That is going to be in Grand Island, Nebraska. That's a Grand Island. First thing in the morning. So it's an early morning parade, which will be nice. The weather will be perfect. It's a contest, a float contest, marching band contest, all that stuff.
Fun.
So it'll be a good time. I love it. I'm going to be marching in that parade. Those folks have been super receptive to having me come out and super grateful that I even want to be part of the parade. So I'm like, heck yeah, we'll do that. So cool. I'm doing the Harvest of Harmony Parade October 2nd. And then we'll see where the demand lies. I will go where people want me to go. So again, reach out to me if you've got something going on in your community that you feel like I should be a part of. Please just let me know, and I'll do my best to make that happen.
Fantastic. Yeah, I can't wait to get out more in the community. We had a fantastic day marching in the Milford Days Parade. That was so fun, throwing candy and getting out there talking to people. So more of that. Let us know. Let Scott know. So we are always here for you, Scott. We look forward to having you back on as many times as you want during your campaign. So
thank you so much.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. And reach out to Scott. Please donate $5, $10, whatever you got. Everything helps. We need buttons. We need lit. We need everything. So any amount helps. All right. See you guys next week with Caleb.